think we're in for some Sony C9 deck fun. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at a Sony SL-C9 UB, UK variant of the C9, and Betamax of course. And this has been sent in for repair by Rich. Hi Rich, hope all is well with you. I did get round to it in the end. This does have a deck issue, as far as I'm aware, for what he tells me, and I believe as well the DC-DC AC converter has also failed. Unfortunately, it did get damaged in transit. I thought it hadn't, but when I started looking a bit closer at it, it's got a crack at the front here and some damage there. Now he has sent me another deck. It's a scrap deck. I don't know what I've done with this, but I know it's not too far away, so I'll dig that out as well in the fullness of time. We'll try and make a good cabinet for this one out of both. Does have some marks on the top as well. It's obviously had another machine on the top. Almost looks like a Toshiba V9600's done that, because it's slightly off centre. So yeah, let's whip the top off. I have already taken the screws out. Thought it was cut to the chase. Okay, well, it hasn't got a pinch roller. That'll do it. Yeah, that's interesting. And there is a screw missing off the top here. I don't know whether that will fit. It probably. Oh, will it? Yeah, it does. Just about. Super. So, yeah, there is a pinch roller. There it is. So, I wonder where the spring's gone. And do I have another spring? Oh, and this is off. So, I don't know whether Rich has actually opened this or done anything with it, really. But that needs to be on there. Otherwise things will not end well. I'll find a clip for that. I've got a few of those in my storage. I did have to scrap quite a few really bad C9s. Ones I bought was scrap, and ones that were damaged beyond reasonable repair in transit. So it's got the older style upper drum, so these wear more, but this doesn't actually look too bad. But it is quite mucky, so we'll clean it and see. It is quite mucky in here. There's a bit of a film of dust everywhere. And yeah, I mean, you can probably see there just how dusty it is. Still got the original Sanyo NSB2 backup battery. That's probably short, but not always. At some point the power supply's been worked on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't have to do that because they're all unique. But it has got the original style DC-DC AC converter, so if it has gone, that'll probably need to go, to be honest. The transformers fail on them, and if you're lucky you might be able to grab the wire that breaks. It rots. Something to do with the flux or the solder process that they used, or soldering process, that they do start to rot the copper. So okay, I'm going to go and raid. We'll have a look for bits, and we'll see if we can get it fired up. Let's crack on. Okay, so pinch roller's on. I managed to find a spring. There's two different types of spring used, depending on the type of pinch roller fitted. If it's the original type, it's a smaller spring. I wasn't sure if I had the right one, but I did, so that's cool. The spring's taller on the later version. So yeah, this is the later version. You see it's sort of split level, and it has a larger spring. So yeah, Anyway, sorted that out. Also sorted the linkage out. Both of these are liberated clips from other machines that are no more, sadly. So we are about ready to give this a go. Slight problem I've got is there's no plug on this, so I'll stick a plug on and take it from there. Let's crack on. Just plugging the connectors in, and this is an ex-Granada machine. So this would have been rental. So this is actually quite a good machine to go with the Granada service material I have for Sony betas. So yeah, interesting that. So let's plug it in. So yeah, I'm going to test this and then I'm going to call it a night for tonight because it is so hot. Possibly going to be the hottest June on record. So, and I'm feeling it. I'm in an attic room, no air conditioning. You can probably hear there's a fan going on in the background. And yeah, it's just like I can't work like this. I'm fumbling and hands are sweaty, and I don't sweat. Anyway, let's plug this in. Hopefully it'll be alright. Yeah, so I heard it click. But we have no VFD. And we have no LEDs. Or no on LED anyway. That sounded a bit weird. So yeah, there is something a bit weird going on here. We have strange motor drive. Issues. Okay. Now, one thing that concerns me is there's a spring on the bottom of that pinch roller. Where's that spring gone? Oh, the other thing I just suddenly thought. Yeah, no, tape's fine. I just wondered where that spring's gone. I just wondered if it might be on the SS11 board. Oh no, I can see it. There's the spring. Well, that was a bit lucky. So yeah, so I'm going to leave this now for tonight and return to it when, well, it's not going to be any cooler anytime soon, but yeah, just going to have to do it in bits and pieces and yeah, take it from there. But we have some interesting faults. Let's crack on. So I thought I'd start by checking the real drive motor assembly, and I've got another one, so I was just going to sort of like plug it in and just test it with that, just to see if there was going to be a problem with it. I would have doubted it, but talking past tense, because I think I found what the issue is. Oh dear, that is not good. And looking at the power supply, I don't know. My feeling is something's been spilt down through the vent, and it's gone on the board and it's rotted the traces. So yeah, but I am going to take the power supply out because I'm sure Rich said that the display was working and then it went off, and I'm just wondering if possibly whatever was spilt down there, if a cap's gone pop. It does seem a bit weird for a capacitor pop. That sort of black residue, it's almost like burnt or something. So I don't know, I can't quite sort of work out what that was. But yeah, let's get the power supply out and just have a look at that. So that's removed. It's actually a screw missing from the where the RF board DU24 panel hinges. So this was sort of a bit over by the time I'd unhinged it from the PCB. But I can't see anything obvious. No obvious spillage. I mean, there's something going on the top there. So I'm suspecting it went down the side. So, I don't know. It's all a bit weird. So, let's see if I can actually unplug this. Oh, maybe. Let's just take the board out and then unplug it once it's off. Okay, so something's definitely been in there, because the bottom pin appears to be rotted onto the plug, which is interesting. So let's just check if that does actually still have continuity or whether it's just rotten. I have to check that. Yes. Something's not good. Ah. Yeah, there's no continuity. Oh, there is. There we go. It's not very good. And it's obviously something. What sort of gave the clue away a little bit was I could see some gooey stuff on there. I wonder what that is. It's sort of like baked onto the SS11 board. Nothing there. Just seems to be there. So I am tempted to also change this board. Yeah. The pin has actually snapped. That's rotten. It's actually a rotten pin. So, in view of that, I'm tempted to just put another board on for this as well. What to do about that? Because that's obviously pretty bad. I think I have a blown power supply that I could just steal the whole lead from. I can recap that at the same time, I suppose. But this, I just think I'll just dispose of this. The real drive was never going to work, so yeah. So we need a new SS or replacement SS11 board and power supply as well. So yeah, so secondary power supply. Board, yeah, I think that might be the 9-volt, that rail that's gone. So it's a D panel, and yeah, open this up, change the caps, the key caps anyway, that are worth changing, and change this lead. Let's crack on. Okay, so I've had a rummage around and I've not been able to find the dead power supply. I do wonder if I might have already used it for something. Highly likely. But what I'm going to do is take the lead from this one, transfer that over, and then on this other power supply I am going to change those two caps there and those two caps there. They're the common ones that need doing. The rest should be okay. No, they are pretty reliable power supplies, these. I've never really had a problem. I've only ever seen one dead. They always seem to be pretty solid, which is great. So I'll get and do that. But I also have not one, not two, but three of the same type of SS11 board. Now there is a later one, and they are interchangeable, that has an additional separate board on here, which just improves, I think it improves performance more than anything. So, but I'm going to fit the same as what was originally in there, so I'll do that as well. I'm not going to show that on camera. I'll change the SS11 first, because it's so blinking hot, so I can sort of just do that. There's something mindless to do because my brain doesn't work very well when it's this humid, and then we'll take the power supply apart and get that sorted. Let's crack on. So I said I wouldn't show me changing this panel, but I just wanted to show you how I do it. So first thing is, on the bottom you've got these clips, and those clips are for the cable management. So what I do is I undo the clip by squeezing the two bits of the plastic together. It can be a fiddle. And push it through, and that lifts the whole lot up. Cables and all. So it just means you don't have to worry so much about the cable routing. So yeah, it just makes life a lot easier. So on this side as well. So yes, and then we can then start unplugging everything, and literally the connectors are pretty unique. There's some that are duplicated. You could muddle up, but they're color coded where there's threes. You know, you get a black, a red and a white in many cases, and if you keep the loom all together, it's absolutely fine. So yeah, anyway, I'll carry on doing this, and we'll get the other board in. So you can see there, the looms are pretty much all kept tidy, all nicely together. This of course is its own thing, and there is one cable tie to clip and replace, which is that one. So try and remember that. I don't always when I take these boards out. So, and then we've got the hinges. So the hinges are a similar sort of thing. Got a pinch. It's almost like this has been out before. And let's do that one on camera as well. So yeah, I'll get the board out. Board's in, and I think I've connected everything. I haven't done the full check yet, but yeah, found some more goo, so I'll have to clean that up. And yeah, I think we've been fairly lucky, all things considered. I know it's written off a board, and I'm going to have to do something with that power supply, but it could be a lot worse. So yeah, I'll get all that all cleaned up anyway, and then we'll move on to the power supply. So let's crack on with the power supply. I'm going to change the caps, or the key caps in the main power supply, and then I've liberated another board. I've got quite a few power supplies kicking about from scrap machines that I've taken apart and liberated the parts, and this one I know is completely dead. It's not even worth investigating it, although I do hope to find a fix for these with the transformer and everything else. Recap, transformer, job would be a good one, but we'll see. In the meantime, I do have this, and what he's done is basically made sure that the heater voltage, although it's DC on this, is not going to overdrive the heaters and cause the VFD to plate too badly. So I'm sort of quite intrigued to see what the display looks like. Possibly might be a little bit on the dim side as a result of that, but I'd rather that and have it work. This doesn't give the TU board voltages, so there won't be any tuning, but it doesn't matter, does it? Who uses that? So we'll get that sorted, but first of all, let's do the power supply. Let's crack on. I've not done many of these, mainly because they are so reliable. I mean, they are really reliable power supplies, and so much so that they use them on the Slow 1700. So I'm going to put these screws back in. I'm going to leave that one out, which is the centre one, the long one, because I think that needs to come out. I think I just need to take out some of these screws just to get the power supply out of the can. So those two screws on this side are just holding the can to the... I've not long done one of these and I can't remember. I can't remember what happened. Yeah, I think you do have to take the back off just so this panel can come out properly, because it's captive. So I'm going to put these screws back in. I'm just really trying to find a slick way of disassembling these, but they obviously make it that you cannot have any sort of mains going in to the unit while you strip it. Yeah, I see it just lifts straight off. And then you can get this off. Sometimes it's glue. There we go. And obviously the plastic is getting in the way. That's fine. How do we get around that? I've forgotten how I did it last time. There we go. So let's put out the power supply. No, we can't, because we have to undo these screws. I think they all have to come out. Well, they will. So heatsink off, and a nice liberal coating of silicone grease there, which no doubt will get covered with. And getting this out. Give it a squeeze. I don't think there's any glue in there. This is literally just push it out. No, still not coming. It's not budging. Oh, maybe maybe it is slightly. It's like, what do you tug on as well, because it's so... There we go. That's done it. Whew. Yeah, so that was quite baked on, to be fair. Okay, so take off the protective plastic. Makes it, gosh, yeah, it's quite, that's quite well loved. So we'll change those two caps, and then these two down here as well. And I'm happy to say that that is a good power supply. Give it a clean out as well. So yeah, let's crack on. All done. These ceramic capacitors, bipolar of course, on the 47 microfarad caps, and then we've got the Chemet 4.7 350 volt caps in, which are much smaller. I mean, just look at the difference in size. So yeah, that helps. So yeah, I'll get this back together. I'll put some additional, well, I might even clean that off, to be honest, and just put some additional heat sink compound on there, and yeah, we should be good. Let's crack on. One thing I nearly forgot to do was actually change the bad power supply cable. So this is actually so rotten that I tried to get the 5 volt that comes out here connector out, and it's just so rotten that I just couldn't get it out. So yeah, that's a good move. So yeah, get this back together, and yeah, let's crack on. So I think we're in a position to be able to test this now. So SS11 board changed, everything plugged in. I've cleaned the Hall effect for the heads. That was really, the glue on that was so stubborn, and I'm a little bit concerned. We'll see how we get on, because if it's going to fail, it will do it fairly quickly. But the legs where they went into the actual device itself, they actually were a little bit green, so you can see some corrosion. So we'll have to see on that one. Then we've got power supply, which is all back in with the DC-DC module, and I did find, I couldn't find my cable ties, so eventually I did find some. I put it back on here, and I didn't like the way it was, the cabling just wasn't sitting very well, so I've decided to snip it off, and we'll just see how we get on with that. It shouldn't foul anything. I think the main reason they like to have it is just to stop it fouling the front loading mechanism parts. So we'll see how that goes, but I think that will be fine. I just noticed there's a wire there from the factory that was missed, so I'll just put that back in. But other than that, I've cleaned these cables up as well. They were quite grubby. You can still see there's a little bit of muck on there actually, so I might just clean that off. But yeah, it was quite tedious to do each one. But they're done, apart from that one that I'll just sort out. There's a little bit of surface rust there, so I've just used some Scotch-Brite just to take that off, tidy it up a bit. Doesn't need to be perfect, you won't see it anyway, but I don't want it to rust anymore, and I've put some protective spray on it just to sort of help stop it rust again. So I think we are somewhere near ready to test this. So I'll get it the right way up and get my extension lead out. So I've got a switch to switch it on and off at the mains, and we'll crack on. Spotted a couple of other things that need sorting. This obviously is not great. We're missing a spring as well that helps keep this assembly or this cabling sort of in the right place so it doesn't foul anything. Also, all of this was all over the place, so I've put that back in the cable management. I think that's as a result of, at some point, it's had the metal gears done, so that's a positive when it comes to these front loading systems, so that's good. Also need to sort out the rubber on this side. If the front loading system is working properly, they don't really matter, but there's a chance that the metal can scratch the top of the cassette, because these are actually clamps, so the clamps are open in the unloaded position. As you push them in, they go down and clamp the cassettes, and then it sits down on the reels. But these can, as a result, they can just mark the top of the cassette. So I need to sort something out for that. But I've tried various different methods of retaping these. I think what I'm going to do this time is actually just use insulation tape and actually wrap it round the whole thing. So I'll get and do that, and then we can try it. So it doesn't look too bad. Desperately trying to make it look like it isn't a bodge. I suppose maybe it is, but it seems a good way to do it. I've left the old sticky on underneath because it shouldn't really make any difference, so I had to clean it. And it's a way to do it. I've also put a split washer clip on there because that was missing. I did try putting one of those on. It's incredibly loose. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but anyway, that's secure now. What else did I do? I'll have to see. I think I might have one of these left, of the sort of cord with the spring on it, and this dropped out, and it's almost like a cornflake, but really strange. This machine's had quite a relationship with food, I think. But obviously changing the board and changing the power supply and that connector, it's just got rid of all of that. So hopefully it'll be a nice sprightly machine again. So let's do a power on test. Okay, so let's power it on and see what happens. Yep, that's looking good. So I'm just going to leave it on for a little bit, and then we'll give it a test. So it's been on for a little while. I had a couple of other things to do, so I just thought, let's turn it on, leave it on. Yeah, it'll be cool. So it's still working, unsurprisingly, and the clock is quite dull, but it's fine. I mean, that is like full brightness, so it does go even duller, and it's only just really working, which I don't know, I possibly might see problems with that, but it's going to keep it working for a long time. It's certainly not going to plate because those heaters are running so low, but in my humble opinion I think they might be a bit too low. So anyway, let's turn it on. That's a good sign the head's revolved. Okay. So what problem do we have now? So I can't. I can't see we actually have an issue with take-up or anything. Let's press pause to see what happens. We've got no video. We are all plugged in. So we've got no video at all. I half wonder if this SS11 board also has a fault on it. This seems to ring a bell. I seem to vaguely recollect. Yes, I had a machine, that I scrapped because it was a real basket case and it had this fault. So, yeah, well, normally I diagnose it, but I've got other SS11 boards, so I think I'm just going to change the board again and hopefully that will rectify that issue. But not too bad really. Let's crack on. So I said I checked all the connectors. Well, obviously I didn't because I missed one, so I'm hoping that's all it is. Interesting goo on the top of that anyway. Oh, well, that's better. Oh, don't like that. That sounded really nasty. But we have no video. And I'm not sure. Oh, it's because I've got the wrong. Hang on a sec. I've plugged it in and it ain't half bad. Really pleased with that. So it's tracking right, tracking left. Really good heads. Really good heads. What's the still like? This tape is pretty dire, to be fair. So. Not sure that's really doing much. Yeah. So it's not really pulling through on the trick modes, so I'll have to have a look at that. It's trying, but it's not really succeeding. Let's go back. Yeah, no, that's not happening. But yeah, that's quite a result really, considering what it was doing. And yeah, really cool. So I think, should we do next? I need to change the front, and I've got one here. I don't want to touch the scrap machine that Rich sent me. So, oh, look at that VW Polo, yellow. Yeah, I'm going to use a front that I have. I want to keep the scrap one that Rich sent me. There's a lot wrong with that. But I quite like the challenge of trying to get that one going if I can. And we'll also have a closer look at the DC-DC module from James, and yeah, take it from there. Let's crack on.
Every hour, every day, every dam, every one of our 5,000 reservoirs. every pound of the billions we have invested. Every pump, every one of the 2,000 million gallons a day to every factory, every office, every home we supply, means that you can be sure every time you turn on the tap, there's water. The 10 water and sewage businesses of England and Wales.
Bright new, bright beer, she is bright.
The taste of Sprite is here.
She is taste, she is bright.
With a squeeze of real lemon and lime to let the taste live free.
The result is a tire that wipes the road dry. Make sure it's a Michelin.
Had a bit of a search and I've managed to dig out this rather second-hand front-loading system. Has the spring, which is perfect, and I've also got the tensioning cord and spring there. So I'm going to whip the front off and let's get that fitted. Front's off and giving it a quick dust off. It's really very tidy, to be fair, but spot the deliberate mistake. I left the cassette in, but I have put on the cord, so that's good. That's one more thing done. So yeah, let's press eject and sort out this door. So just spotted another fairly common issue is bad joints on these LEDs. I've known the eject one do it sometimes as well, but this one seems okay. But anyway, let's get the door out. So just bend it down just a little bit and then get this out. There we go. So there's the door, and then that's interesting, this is actually plastic and the original ones were metal, so I wonder if this has actually had a replacement front loading system and they've fitted a plastic door. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen a plastic door on these before, so yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, I'll get this clean and we'll pop the spring on. I'm sure I'm going mad, but I don't remember there not being a door there, the silver door that slides up, but it's certainly not it's certainly not there. What am I missing there then? I mean, obviously the lift up door, but I'm a bit shocked I didn't even notice. That's bonkers. Anyway, let's at least get the door, the main flap, sorted. So I'm tempted to actually take the door off this one. And I can't remember exactly how this spring does actually latch. I didn't make a note. So I just managed to dig that into my finger. Yeah, like I said, I'm struggling to really see what I'm doing. that has to go over. And whether they've got that the right way round, I'll soon find out. I think I have. Yeah. Okay, so that's that done. That's the easy bit. Now, I've got to get this out of here and put into there, which means really I need to take that out. And does this have... I don't know whether it's got the rubbers on it. Ah, it's got a rubber on it. It's got two. Okay. So I might just take one off there, to be honest, and put it on there. So, yeah, cool. We have a plan. So I've taken screw out there, then got to remember to remove this clip. And I'm a bit confused about this machine because it was sort of in bits to start off with, and it didn't make an awful lot of sense. And it sort of... I mean, obviously somebody was struggling with the front loading system, but it works. It's just missing... missing the front door. It's got the wrong screw in. Oh, it's got all the wrong screws in. So someone's trying to force a large screw in there. That's not good. That is not good at all. Oh dear. This is why I'm taking this off. What type of screw is it? Yeah, I've just jammed it in there and hoped, and then there's one with a washer. I think I don't recollect them being washered screws. Maybe they were. I can't remember. It's daft, isn't it? You sort of do these things hundreds of times sometimes, and you sort of like something's a bit different. It's like, huh. Anyway. Oh. And screw I have a bad habit of forgetting about. And that should give me enough space just to get this out. Yeah, I probably do need to take this out, don't I? Need to not be lazy about it. You can do it, but it's really fiddly and it can get terribly messy if you get muddled. There's only 2 screws and a clip. Cabling. So I'll have a look at that as well. This should now lift out. And let go underneath. You do still have to be careful even if you do remember the clip, because it can have a habit of not properly releasing. Like it tried to there, and you end up breaking or damaging bending the arm anyway. So there's actually a little bit of a bend going on with that. Might have to whip it off and just yeah, I'd have to lace it slightly to just take that off and straighten it. Yeah, so let's straighten that. I'll get those stray bits in a minute. So straighten that up and give it a clean. I don't think that spring's doing a very good job either. I don't know quite what I've done there. I mean, it works fine, but it's come out. I got it upside down or something. Yes, I think I have. Does it matter? I didn't think it mattered. I just wonder if I've got the right spring, you know. To me it doesn't quite look right. I'll have to have a look. I think I've got a deck with... Yeah, you see that's just not sitting right. Okay, so I have to find a spring for that. The right spring. So, give this a clean. So interestingly, I've got a screw missing there, and that's that big screw. That's where that should go. So, yeah, we'll sort that out. Let's get... So, I'm going to put the Sony one back on, I think, rather than use a different one. But at the moment that appears to have gone AWOL. So the door, right, so there's a metal plate that, well, there's a rail there. Rail's what I mean, really, more than metal plate. I mean, it is metal. So there's a rail there. You should see that sort of brassy coloured metal there, and it's missing on this side. So, got one of those as well. Should be able to just, hopefully, just remove it off this one. Oh, oh dear, screw and washer. Screw and washer. And this should just lift out, I think. Maybe it's not quite as easy as that. Does it slide down through the bottom? Nope. So do you have to take the door off first? Yes. So I'm going to have to try and get these springs off, which can be a little bit interesting. So I'll have to get them at an angle and just unhook them. Of course I'm going to need these springs because they're missing as well. It's trying not to damage them too much because it does cause... no, they're on the door, aren't they? I'm forgetting how this all goes. So, will that move far enough over for me to... I think so. Get the door out. Let's pull that up there. So hoping I could have pulled it down and it would pop out, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Oh, I've done so many of these, and this one's being particularly awkward. You can, oh, there we go. You can slack off the end screws there and there, which I think is what I've done in the past, to be fair. I'll have to go back and watch some of my videos on me doing this, see how I did it. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, those springs are attached to the door. So yeah, how I missed that. How I missed that there was no silver door there and there's just a great gaping hole. I don't know, but I suppose it's just the angle I was sort of looking at it, and the joy of getting the thing working meant that I totally missed that. So let's make sure this is nice and dust free. Trying desperately hard not to pull on those springs. Then we need to transplant that metal plate, which should now come out, I think. Maybe. Yeah, so I can lift it out like so. It's not very clear, I know. But and then I can cheat a little bit with this. Yeah, so you can negotiate it past. So that goes in there. That goes in. But will it go in there? Do I have to get it in first and then position it? Obviously not going to do these up too tight. In fact, I'm only going to do up one. And this is where the fun starts, because I need the door to be down, but the latches are in the way. So yeah, I've messed that up really. It's not the end of the world, because we just need to take the door back out, which should be okay. I've probably done that up a little bit too tight. So lift the door out. Can I bring it down? I just don't want to take it apart any more than I have to, because I don't. That's purely what it is. So that should, a little bit of jiggling about. Okay, so the first one went on so easily. You sort of got to push it over at an angle to then hook it on. There we go. And I need to sort out these cables as well, just tidy those up. I think they had a bit of black tape around them, so I'm going to do the same. Ah, right, okay. There's a cable tie. Still haven't found my cable ties yet. Oh yeah, and there's a bit of black tape. So I did remember, I just forgot the cable tie. Okay, so I'll have to find another cable tie in my collection. Because I still haven't got any. Okay, so that should now be, once I put the screw in, and we've got to tension it as well to make sure that the door won't fall out. And it does seem to go all the way. Now I'm not sure if that's always the case, but in this case anyway, yeah, that's nice and free. I could do with just cleaning off the top of those. I'm just knocking the dust off with a screwdriver. So yeah, that'll work well. And apart from a cable tie, I think we're about ready to put this back together. So yeah, I'll find a cable tie and crack on. So I might as well, while we've got the front loading system out, have a look at these bad joints on the LED. Yeah, so you won't be able to see this, but that solder joint on this side of the LED is bad. So yeah, I'll get that soldered and we should be good to go. Well, once you put the front loading system back in, of course. But yeah, let's crack on. So I think we're about ready to give this a try, and done quite a lot. So cleaned the tape path, the heads. I've replaced the screws that were not right with the correct ones. So they're the ones with the captive washer, and the screw that was in there is now back in the chassis, holding that to the main chassis of the whole machine. So the deck chassis is now screwed in, and the right screw went in fine, no problem. Luckily the metal is so strong, so such high quality that it wasn't really damaged. So there's plenty of thread left, so that's great. Obviously we've got the door back in, and soldered the LED, so that's good. Intrigued to see what this battery's like, but we'll do that in the fullness of time. I will say I didn't tape this wire down, but I'm not terribly concerned about that. That's fine. And yeah, so I think we're ready to give this a try. Let's crack on. So let's plug it in and turn it on, and you can see we're all good there. All aligned nicely. It's better. We have a door. Just wind this on a little bit.
Billy, what are you doing? You've got muck all over you. Come here.
The sound is very good.
Listen, don't.
So yeah, that's actually really, really good. I'm really pleased with that. That's looking great. So we're not totally out the woods yet. We do still have, well, let's see. Yeah, I still can't I can't advance the still modes. Let's go back. That's quite amusing. I watched that for hours. So I need to look into that. There is not enough torque being presented then to the motor, to the capstan, to actually do what it's supposed to do. So yeah, let's look into that. Let's crack on. I've checked everything, and everything seems to check out absolutely fine for the take-up. For when you're in the trick modes, but there's obviously something not right. I have had problems with tape path issues, like excessive tension, and then I thought, oh, it's actually worth checking the back tension, because obviously we've changed the SS11 board. It's needed no adjustment, to be fair. I did just go through it and just check everything, and it's pretty spot on. The one capstan adjustment seemed a little out, but to be fair, I couldn't make it any better than it was, and it is good, so I'm happy with that. So looking for about 45 on the back tension. So we'll see. It's actually a bit low, if anything. I mean, it's playing fine, so I'm happy to leave it a little bit on the low side, because it'll keep warm. I think that's got to the end of the tape. Maybe. Yeah. I don't think this... Oh, it does. Yeah, it does. I was going to say I wasn't sure I had a magnetic section on the tape, but oh no, it's, yeah, oh, quite, what's happened there then? It's not liked it. Let's just try that again. Have we got a bit of an issue going on? Oh, interesting. Oh, ow. So the wheels went a bit funny. Gosh. The back tension seems even lower. And take up is about 50, so it's got good take up, 50 to 60. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know quite what's going on with the tape at that far end. It's almost like there's something actually wrong with the tape. So I might have to investigate that. But I'm happy with that. It's a bit on the low side, but it's not affecting performance. So I'm happy to just leave that. But it's not too high, which is what I was suspecting might be the case. It could be because the pinch roll is a little bit shiny. So I suppose I could actually just change the pinch roller for another one I've got just as a test and see if that fixes it. But yeah, it could be that. Could be just skidding in the trick modes. But yeah, I'm a little bit. Actually, will this pick up? If I press play. And then just put the trick mode on. That is trying to yeah, so just lifted the video amp board and I can't see it's even trying to move. I wonder if it's worth dropping the SS11 and just having a look, just seeing if it's doing anything, but that's not, there's no movement there at all. 30 back tension, which is fine. So, interesting. So that's in trick mode, and where are we? There. And there is absolutely no rotation at all on the capstan, which suggests to me we do actually have a problem with the SS11 board. There is a problem with this. The other thing that's interesting is it doesn't do it every time, but it started when you go to play. Going a bit bonkers. Like it was doing with the back tension cassette, and then sometimes it will be fine, but you can hear the spools bouncing as well. So I think we've got something on this panel on the way out. So for speed, I think I'm going to swap the panel with another one. I've got nothing to lose, and I've got plenty. And just see if that makes a difference, if nothing else. So yeah, let's crack on. So panel's changed over. I'm a bit disappointed with that other panel, and I will fault find it in the fullness of time. Might put it in the RC9 and do some diagnostics on it. A bit weird what's going on with the cab stand, but well, yeah. Yeah. So let's power it on, and I think I've plugged everything in. Okay, so it's running a bit fast, but that's fine. What I want to know is, do we have advance? No, we don't. So I can't actually I just wondered if the pot was a bit dodgy. Yeah, this board has problems as well. and there's just nothing. There's nothing on the capstan at all. I do wonder if maybe the capstan might have got slightly contaminated, because we did have quite a bit of fluid that got along these cables, but I can't see any contamination. Yeah, I might have to take that out. Yeah, so we have the trick mode issue. This board has obviously got a capstan issue as well. The other board I think is fine. Well, I say this has got a capstan issue. I think I've got a capstan issue, and I wouldn't be surprised it's the trick mode PCB that's causing an issue. I don't know. So let's see what the voltages are like from this DC-DC AC module. So it's the number 4 connector, I think it is, and we should have, yeah, so just under minus 26 volts. And if we look at the schematic, minus 26, so that's perfect. That's really, really good. I have seen that sort of overdriven a bit, so that's cool. Then we've got the AC on 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3. 3.1 volts DC. So that's really good. So I mean, the AC should be about 3.8 volts, but it's DC, so you haven't got the vibration of the heaters. So maybe a tiny bit low, but I'd rather have a working display that's going to keep working and it doesn't get hot. I've used other modules, 2 other different modules bought off eBay, and they've run really hot, so that's really good. That's a real bonus that it's running cool. So I've been talking with James quite a bit about basically what he does and his interest in machines. He's got hundreds of machines, and he really is very passionate about the hobby, just like I am, which is really, really great. It's great to meet fellow enthusiasts. But he's basically offering 5% off these modules if you mention that you've come from the MrBetaByte channel, and they're available at the DeadAVstore. I'll put a link in the description, so DeadAVstore.com, and yeah, really cool. It's a great way to at least get some life back into the clock and keep it running. So yeah, definitely would recommend these modules. They're the best I've seen. Still a compromise, of course. You don't get the tuning, so the tuner side of it won't work because those voltages aren't provided, but who needs that these days, to be quite honest. So with that, really disappointed we didn't get it going. We were so close so close, and we did see it run. I mean, I've run it on playback for hours and hours now. I've played it's probably about 9 hours worth of tape through it, and it hasn't missed a beat, but obviously tinkering with that trick mode side of it and that side of it just not working as it should, we've obviously got a problem, and it's not the SS11 board. That's really just yeah, it's just not an issue. So I've put the other board back in because I was getting exactly the same results, and everything seems to be working. I did try another capstan. I was just slightly concerned because obviously there was some contamination on these wires here. Had any got on the back of the board for the capstan motor? I don't think it has, but yeah, not ruling that out even at this point. So yeah, but it's playing fine now, which is great. But I still have no trick modes. There is no motor movement. There isn't on when I plug the other one in either. So just trying to step forward, and there is nothing. So I do think we've got a problem with that trick board panel, especially as changing this made no difference at all. I know probably I should be getting the scope out, but as I've got the boards, it's quicker just to change the board and it eliminates, or yeah, try and find out which panel is actually causing the problem. Where am I actually going? And yeah, we might end up having to get the scope out and just doing some tests. But if I change the trick mode panel and it works, then we'll just align it up and jobs are good. But yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm still a bit concerned. Like I say, suddenly the capstan started doing all sorts of weird and wonderful speed changes, and the machine was cutting out, and yeah, it was strange that it started when I did the back tension test actually. But anyway, I'll dig out that other board and let's crack on. Board's been changed over. If you've never taken one of these out before, they can look a little bit daunting, but they're actually pretty straightforward. So there's a hinge here and here, and to get the board out, you have to push that plastic lug down the bottom there and then slide it off that way. So yeah, it's actually really easy to get out. There's only 2 screws. They're usually green. You see that one's green, that one's not so much, but it is. And yeah, slightly different board colour as well. I think this is a later panel, but that's fine. They should be interchangeable. I don't think there's any difference in oh, there is a difference in the model, in the part number. This is a -12 and that's a -11. So yeah, well, we'll see. Might have to have a little look and that's interesting. There is differences on the panel as well, I just noticed. So we've got a transistor and some resistors there which aren't there. So not sure what section that actually is. But yeah, we'll see anyway. It could just be an improvement. A few other tweaks on it, but yeah, let's give it a try. Okay, so here we go. Let's press play and pause. That's working. So we did have a problem on that that board. It's going a bit crazy. So it'll need alignment, but yeah, so this board was faulty. And yeah, it's sort of been intrigued to find out what's wrong with it, which I'm not going to do in this video, but I might put it in the RC9 at some point, and just see if we can diagnose what's actually happened with this. But there's nothing obvious. One common issue with them is if they've been roughly dealt with during their sort of journey by the carrier, the RF module on the back can get pushed into the side of the, well, this corner of the panel, and it causes it to crack right across. So that's a fairly common fault, and that will basically stop it from working. But I did have a quick look under the microscope to see if I could see any obvious damage or cracks or anything. Couldn't see anything. So yeah, this has actually got a genuine electronic fault. So yeah, so I need to line up the replacement panel and take it from there. Let's crack on. Panel's in, and I know I'm going to have to do some alignment. I mean, we know that because it was a bit weird when we did the testing. So what I'm going to do, we'll go through the functions. I'm just literally going to capture what it's doing and not doing well. And yeah, so let's power it on and turn it on. Okay, so I might not get anything to start off with because there's very little on this cassette, so I'll just rewind it and we'll start again. So let's just start to capture, and well, it's playing back a heck of a lot better. Tracking normal, so furthest left, furthest right, and it, oh gosh, it's really good, isn't it? So trick modes: pause, so frame, yeah, that's really quite bad. So we're going to have to adjust by the seams. Let's just move the tracking. So tracking furthest right. That is now, so that should be still. Yeah. So it's going way over. It's way overcompensating for the pause. So it's not getting still position. So it's not getting the correct yeah, it's getting very confused. So that was, yeah, so I'm pressing still and it's winding on. And the pause is good. So I pressed back and that actually got it to pause. But yeah, that frame is not. So we're going to have to adjust the tracking as well, I think. Yeah, see, it's just, that's back and it's just not quite working as it should. Still position, FG traps, snow tracking, so tracking's in the middle. Well, that's tracking okay. CapCut timing, jog ref. So we don't have to do anything with drum shift. Still position, brake width. So oh, is that actually? No. So at the moment I'm just doing this just to see what's going on really. It's very confused. I do wonder if maybe this panel might not be doing what it should be doing. Jog ref. So the jog ref is that one. Hang on. We might have a slight issue. I do wonder if this panel is also because it's going to the the full speed options, then pressing pause and then nothing. And we don't seem to have... Oh, this is still not right. So pressing pause, things go horribly wrong. It's a bit weird. Why is pause doing that? Oh, now that's paused. Okay, so it stops. It actually does what it's supposed to do on the transition between recordings. So that's paused. Oh, it's like it's not getting... because it... Yeah. So it's not... It's not getting G bias, which is there, FG trap. Right, so the FG trap wasn't. FG bias. So I'm going to have to do this all set this up properly. But at the moment I'm just trying to see what is going on. It does sound pretty rough as well, so I've got a take-up issue which will need to be sorted, so I'm going to have to do a full alignment. Whether I do that in this video, it might actually be quite fun to do this in a that in a separate video, just so you can see well, yeah, it'd be actually very useful to do it in a separate video so you can actually see how to do it. I've not done many as well, so it'd be quite fun to do and show in depth how to do it. It's certainly something you need the manual for. So the forward is working fine. FG trap. Yeah, but it all needs setting up. I mean, the capstan speed seems fine, but obviously I did tweak that trying to work out what was going on. So, yeah. So that's now performing as it should. Or more so. So that's the FG trap. So just turning that slightly clockwise until it does actually do what it's supposed to do. So but you can hear take up isn't right because it's bouncing. You can hear the spool is not tight enough, so that needs to be done. And FG trap needs to go just a tiny bit more. Yeah, shouldn't be doing that. I mean, that's as far as it goes. It might be too high actually. Oh gosh. It is a bit all over the place. Cap cut timing. Oh, it sounds horrible, doesn't it? Well, I think all we can do is do an alignment and take it from there. This video is already so long that I just, you know, it's going to be a fairly long video doing the alignment and sort of doing it in detail. Need the scope as well, which is cool, but yeah, at least we've diagnosed all the faults. So I'm happy to wind this video up. It's been quite a machine, this one, but it's been really cool. It's been good fun, and it's great that it's sort of at a point now where it just needs alignment. So yeah, I'll do another video. It'll be a while before it's uploaded, even though I'll probably do the actual video, record the video in the next few days, just so you have a break from this machine. You can have a break, I can't. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe would be great, and a hype, and hopefully I shall see you in another video. Bye for now.